HR, from the point of view of business owners, they never consider it something very serious or very strategic. Why is it so, sir? What are the major challenges you have seen in terms of running a business with point of view keeping HR in focus? With regard to challenges, I would like to know how did you find it out, sir? So when we talk about audit, it sounds very heavyweight jargon, and the budget also runs into tunes of few lakh rupees. Is that what it cost? And in your case, sir, when it comes to about audit from Shikshakji? Hello and welcome to Shikshakji HR Talks podcast, your go-to guide for building strong people engine for your business. In this episode, we are going to discuss your unique challenges as a business owner in terms of HR and how to solve them. So again, I have with me HR's doctor, that is super specialist doctor and leadership expert, HR expert. So many titles I can add to him. That is our Dr. Vivek Trivedi ji, sir. So you're welcome to this podcast for the episode 2, and let us start discussing about the HR challenges which usually business owners have.
Thank you so much, for having me here.
Dr. Vivek, sir, when we talk about HR from the point of view of business owners, they never consider it something very serious or very strategic. Why is it so, sir?
So sometimes it becomes a casual approach. Sometimes lack of team, lack of people. They say that when we will be bigger company, then only we will start. So these are the few things which comes in mind and which comes as a general scenario that people don't want to consider HR as a strategic role or a department. So that's how and we can mull over it, we can discuss it over it, we can have a purely conversation on that. So but the major point is that sometimes they feel that there's a lack of team. The mindset plays a very important role, that when we will be becoming a big company, that time we'll consider it out. Or sometime even they consider as a cost also, that it takes a huge cost. Now why, how, and how can this be supported, that we can discuss. And surely this is going to be helpful for all the business owners of India. Yeah.
Great. So when we are talking about the major challenges, so in your experience, sir, what are the major challenges you have seen in terms of running a business with point of view keeping HR in focus?
Yeah, exactly. So as Richard Branson, Virgin Atlantic, he mentioned very clearly, if you take care of your people, people take care of your business.
Oh, brilliant.
So people is the key. To get the people is something what we call as a recruitment, talent acquisition. Now recruiting the right person at the right time, with the right way, that is something which can make or break the organization. And that's we can say that recruitment is one of the major challenge which any business owner face today. First thing. Second thing is policies. So people either want to not get into any kind of policy making, or sometimes they feel very discomfort with the policy. So that's another one of the major challenge. System is also lacking there. And the last major part is compliances, statutory compliances. Either we ignore them, or we follow them half-heartedly, or we try to compensate that with respect to some other ways. So these are the major challenges, and we can discuss on that about further, that how this is impacting the organizations.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
With regard to challenges, I would like to know how did you find it out, sir? I am sure you are connected with businesses locally, nationally and globally. But how did you zero in on these challenges, sir?
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, you audit, right? So audit is one of the major part which comes in picture. And when we do an audit, we actually do the gap analysis.
Oh,
Yeah, because you know what, company is running from so long.
okay.
There must be something good must be happening in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is that the business owner wants to take it to the height level, to scale level. Now, how can they do that? There's a gap which is there. So to identify that gap area, we take the route of HR audit.
Okay.
And we take a very dedicated approach here. We do a very systematic way of an HR audit. While doing an HR audit, we get to know what is happening good,
Okay.
what can be improved, what are the roadmap which can be created, and on that basis, the complete game plan can be created for any business owner.
Brilliant.
And that's what we do that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So when we talk about audit, it sounds very heavyweight jargon, and the budget also runs into tunes of few lakh rupees. Is that what it cost? And in your case, sir, when it comes to about audit from Shikshakji?
Yeah, so you are absolutely right. Generally, this is a misnomer, this is a misconception that if I am actually getting some kind of auditors, some kind of audit agency, I need to shell out a very heavy money. Maybe get into lakhs and all. In Shikshakji, we are doing in few thousands.
Wow.
I mean, even lesser than 10,000, I can say that. Something like that. The reason being, we see the money is secondary for us. The first is that we have to give a gap area so that people can do it by themselves and they can get into the improvement level. So that's the first thing. Second thing, now I wanted to tell you that with this particular podcast way, that people can make use of Shikshakji Sevak, what we have introduced as a bot.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe we can share the link, we can share the numbers, on this podcast, and people can make use of it. With this Shikshakji Sevak, people can get connect and they get to know the best of the practice. They can do their own assessment as well. This is absolutely zero cost. However, if they want to get into structured level, there is a way, there is a complete structure which is there, and that's how we support them. So we take 3-day approach, it's all online, and we give them 30 improvement areas. So 30 improvement areas are pretty high.
excellent, sir.
Yeah.
I understood. So 30 improvement areas where they can improve.
Yes.
Maybe some they can do it on their own. Some would
absolutely.
need little
DIY
assistance.
approach. Yeah. So we can say that 10 improvement areas are zero cost.
Oh,
So for example, if I want to improve my health,
okay.
I don't need a doctor to improve my health. What I need to do, I just have to start morning walk. I can take care of my food. I can take care of my habits.
Lifestyle changes.
I don't need a doctor for that. So when we do an audit and when we do an observation report, we actually share them 10 points which they can do by themselves. That's the first thing. Second thing, another 10 points we tell them where a little small investment and then they can make use of it. For example, employee handbook. For example, some kind of payroll compliances. So these are the things and another 10 we say so that it can help you in a scalability part of it. Like, L&D or a training calendar, HR calendar, HR budget. So these are the things. So total, all in all, any person who is taking an audit from us, they are getting 30 steps framework, which can be helpful for them to take a first step forward in making their HR quite stable and strategic.
Brilliant, sir.
Yeah.
You would have seen so many different businesses, as I mentioned before, sir. Can you share one of the case study, Dr. Vivek, sir?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would like to bring the case of one of my client. He was in Gujarat and a very, very what I can say seasoned business owner, almost 25 years of experience, and they were running the organization from last 25 years. When we got a connect to them, what came out is that he actually shared me 3-4 major queries. He said, sir, in my organization, people come, they don't get stick to my organization. We became training center now.
Okay.
People come, they do some kind of execution, then afterward their any competitor picks them up with some few thousand rupees and then they go. And we are here only to give experience certificate, salary certificate and experience letter. So, so he actually expressed out that way. The second thing what he mentioned is that, like, you know, in terms of paying some extra money to the inspectors, statutory compliances. He said, sir, like, I mean, one of some chartered accountant or somebody, has suggested him to pay 50% of PF, 50% can be kept with, that way. Now suddenly any inspector comes to their organization, they ask for some money, and he was actually not able to manage that. That's the second thing. And third one was that the productivity. That people don't want to work in that 100% capacity, but everyone wants a pay rise. And then he was confused that whom should he have to give the pay rise? If he give pay rise to one person, another 4% will always be dissatisfied. So these were the case study which was given to us. Now we introduced an HR audit there. We got a complete gap analysis, and then we gave the improvement area, and it was very simple improvement area. We suggested, like, that you should have a statutory calendar. That's the first thing. Second thing what we suggested is that have a job description clear.
Clear JD.
Clear JD, yeah, exactly. I mean, that doesn't cost majorly thing, yeah. But what happened, at least the person will be well aware about. Then you should do the goal setting when the person joins the organization. So with this small little thing, some kind of policy, we suggested that, like, why don't you have a policy framework? One-time exercise. The company is running from last 25 years. Due to lack of this, the company was not able to grow. Now, while introducing these small little things, is done. Now what is happening? The people are referring their, what I can say that, their few friends, colleagues or whatsoever as a, major person who is interested for that particular organization. So their employee referral thing is automatically happening. That's the first thing. Second thing, while setting the policy, they did not have to reinvent the wheel again and again.
Brilliant. I got it, sir.
Yeah. So it was set. And as they say, set and forget. So now they did not have to think again. And now with the role clarity, they know that whom they have to give pay rise. They know that, like, whom should they have to go for a performance appraisal and all that. So that was a small little thing. What has happened in the Gujarat based organization, and I'm sure that, like, with this audit, we were able to get the results out of it.
That's a very powerful story, I can say, sir. So people, if they want to, take few actions of their own, they would, some of the business owners say, before getting to audit, let me take few actions on my own and try to study the ship in terms of, putting HR, strategic HR in place. Dr. Vivek, sir, could you suggest few, or I would say recommend few action plan that would help them?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you need to put that, hiring, as we mentioned, we started with recruitment. So if your hiring is a structure, it helps the organization balancing very well.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Second thing, what we can do, we can just have one single pager of a policy. They don't have to be very structured and strong and very comprehensive policy. Not needed. One single pager of policy can be very helpful. That's the second point.
Okay.
In terms of compliance, like, as that business owner was asking for that, now one compliance calendar can be followed and that's taken care.
Okay.
So these are the 2-3 things which is required, and if anyone follow that, we are good. That's how.
Brilliant. I got it, sir. So thank you again for bringing in all the valuable insights for the business owners. So you can just put this 2 or 3 different things in action, and that would be your starting point for your strategic HR in business. Also, if you like to get started and get connected with the Shikshakji's bot over a simple WhatsApp chat, you can ping the bot in the given link in the description, or use the scan code, and also connect with the bot on the number mentioned in the video banner. Thank you. See you in the next one. We are going to talk about how to build your HR system with very low budget, I would say very affordable budget, and take it to the next level. See you in the next one.